Hello everybody. So this video is all about this necklace that I'm wearing. Isn't it pretty? I'm going to tell you a little bit more what this is and how I got it and all that stuff. But you know what? I thought I would get on here and apologize to you. I got this new contraption for my sister for my birthday. It's an early birthday present. And I used it incorrectly. And so my videos are all turned the wrong way. So please bear with me while I learn how to use this thing. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the video. Sorry for the goof up. Here's my little contraption, and I didn't realize this turned. So that was the issue. So instead of my videos being horizontal, they're vertical. Anyway, next time, hopefully I'll do better. Hello everybody, this is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo, and today I'm going to make a piece of jewelry with something that I got while we were on a cruise a couple of months ago. It's called Caymanite. Have y'all ever heard of Caymanite? So last year, back in 2023, my husband and I, we went on a cruise, and finally, after so many years of really wanting to go to Grand Cayman, we got the opportunity to go on a cruise to Grand Cayman. It was one of the ports we went. And while I was there, I saw this really cool jewelry made out of something called Caymanite, but it was really expensive, and so I didn't get a piece. So this year, when we went on our cruise, that was on my bucket list. I needed to find an affordable piece of Caymanite, and I wanted something that I could actually put into a piece of jewelry that I made. So while we were there, I looked all over the place, and it's expensive. Honestly, I think it's too expensive, but I finally found this woman. Her name was Rosemary. And she was at the Cayman market, and her stuff was actually made by her. Let me show you what she gave me. I actually like how she packaged this up. I'm all into recycling, and she just used, old newspaper. But I did buy something from her that I'll show you. But she also gave me this piece of Caymanite here. And this is just raw Caymanite. So we actually, she didn't have a card, but she asked me for my card when I told her that I had planned on getting a piece of Caymanite and putting it in a piece of jewelry. And I don't know if she's following me or not. I hope she is. But Rosemary, if you're out there, hello. I hope you say hi down in the comment section. But anyway, I just thought this was really cool. Let me show you the piece I picked out. Isn't this pretty? Let me take this off here. And I don't remember how much I paid for this. And this bail is sterling silver. But isn't that pretty? Here's the back. And so today we're going to make a piece of jewelry, a necklace with this. And I've dug around in my beads and we're going to try to pick something that's going to go with this. So I dug around in my stash, and I knew I wanted to possibly use some coconut. So I have these coconut beads that I hope to use in my piece. Let me just get all the stray coconut beads out. I could put these back. I'm going to use them as spacer beads. And I was thinking of maybe using some type of pearl, maybe freshwater pearl. And then I saw these flat freshwater pearls that I might use. I also like bling. Gotta have bling. So, there we go. So I have these pieces of crystal. Look at that. I think that matches really nicely. And then something else, when I was digging in my stash, I found this, trying to think what they call these. They're called, I think I have it written down here. No, it's some type of fossil, I think. But the only thing is with these, I mean, it goes really nicely color-wise, but I think these are a little big. So I'm not going to use those. I did find these, though, that I might use. And they're a jasper. So I wish they were a little bit smaller, though. And I thought of this. I think this is a type of jasper. I think it's Picasso jasper, but I don't think that's going to work very well. Oh, and then I found these. I might use these. I don't know. Let me do some playing around here. Oh, that looks really good there. Maybe I'll save these for something else. But let me get all my, everything I need out to make a piece of jewelry, and I'll be right back. Oh, before we start creating, I did want to show you something. This necklace right here, I made it several years ago, and I got all these beads from the cruise that we went on. My mom and I went on a Western Caribbean cruise. I believe we were on the Carnival Magic. But we went to Roatan, and we went to, we did an excursion called Top 10, and one of the places we went was a factory where they made these cameos, and they made them out of shells. And so I picked one up. She got one that has a seahorse on it. And then we did the Top 10 in Cozumel, and I was able to pick up some of these beads. Well, see, I think we went to Puerto Rico. Did we go to Puerto Rico? Because these beads came from Puerto Rico. These beads came from Cozumel. They're actually a black coral, and supposedly they farm them. I'm usually an anti-buy coral, but I hope they were telling me the truth. But they're really, really pretty, and I love how this turned out. I did an exact necklace like this with a seahorse pendant for my mom. All right, so what we're going to need is some beading string, and I'm going to use chain. I'm also going to use these two tiny, tiny little seed beads. And I need a lobster claw, which I've already checked to make sure that's working. And then I believe I'm going to need 4 jump rings. And I'm going to need, they call these crimp covers. And back in the day, they were called clamshell bead tips. I only need 2 of them. So this one has a hook on it. This one has like little loops, and I think this is the one I'm going to use. And I can't remember if I said chain. I'm going to use some chain. And this is stainless steel Rolo. It's pretty fine chain. So the first thing I'm going to do is I got to come up with a pattern. Of course, I want this as the middle. So I'm going to use this as my beading board. I actually did a video on this not long ago. I was at Aldi's and I found this cutting board. It's a bamboo cutting board and a serving tray. And I'm like, this would make a really good beading board. So I'm using it today. Anyway, this is going to go in the middle. Oh, that's a pretty big... Okay, I didn't realize how big that bail was, so we do need to have that in between like that. And let's see, maybe I'll do 3 of them. Let's see, I want these to kind of be similar. Oh, you know what would be pretty? is to do something crystally in between. Okay, there we go. I was going to say, I can't pick that up. I'll give it a little bit of bling. All right. I do want to use some of these pearls. So I'm going to put this here. And then a pearl. And then maybe okay. I think I want some more crystals. Do some more pearls. Oop, that's not a pearl. There we go. I'm kind of looking at some of these. I really like that one. I think I want to use that one. Yeah, that looks better. And let's see. One thing about this board, usually beading boards have increments, inches, and I could do that on this, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. This just gives me an idea. Plus the fact these beads are going to be on their side, so it wouldn't give you really an accurate measure anyway. This just kind of gives you an idea of what your piece is going to look like. And I'm thinking, do I want it like that, or do I want to kind of spread out the big beads and the little beads a little bit more? I think I do. So maybe I'm going to have to use my pliers to pick these up. Maybe I want to do this. When it comes to beading, you really need to, I guess what I'm trying to say, when it comes to designing, it's just a trial and error all the time. And you know, I've said this before, it's almost like you have to let the beads speak to you. I think I'm going to like this better. Let me move these up a little bit. Yeah, I think I like this better. It spreads out the sizing, and it gives a little bit more texture and dimension when you do that. Let's see, so let's go over here and fix this. Also, I think you see the beads a little bit better like this. Need some more pearls. Okay, let me mess with this a little bit more, and then I'll come back and show you the pattern I've come up with. All right, so I have them all strung up, and I'm loving the way this is coming out. It's very, it's got a lot of good texture to it as far as using, you know, big and smaller beads. These aren't too big though, and I think the coloring is just right. Now let me make sure I've got the design, the pattern right, and I do. All right, so I started out with a teeny little seed bead, and so I'm going to end with a little teeny seed bead. Where did there it is. I was going to say, where did it go? It's so little, I couldn't find it. And I just like to add these because it adds a little bit of finish to it, makes it look a little more finished. So now I'm going to use these clamshell bead caps, bead covers, crimp bead covers, whatever you want to call them. They look like little clams. They have a hole at the bottom. So on this side, I just put my string in the hole at the bottom, and then I'm going to tie 2 knots and feed them in there. And for the first side, I don't need a special instrument. I can just tie 2 knots. By the way, I'm using 20-pound fishing line, which I have been using that since day one, which we're talking is many years, like over 30 years. Okay, once I get the 2 knots in there, I want to make sure they fit. They're not too big or too small. And I'm going to gently close up this little clam. And then I'm going to take my wire cutters and I'm going to cut as close as I can. You don't need any glue. I know some people do this and use glue. You can use it if you want. I don't. I have pieces I've made 30 plus years ago that are still intact that I've worn a lot. All right, so I got that done. I'm going to feed all my beads down. And then I want to cut off the spool here, but I need to make sure I have enough to tie 2 knots. After putting on, where's the other? There it is. Go ahead and put that on there. And then my tool that I like to use is just a pen or needle. And I like to use these little, I think they call them like a hat pin. I don't know what they're called, but the little T-pin. Because it's easier to hang on to. So basically what I'm going to do is tie my first knot, and then I use this to feed it down into, not behind, not on one side or the other, but inside there. And I'm going to tighten it, but I don't want to tighten it so much that this looks really tight. It still needs to have some fluidity to it, but you want to make sure it's not so loose that you see your wire here. And I may have this a little tight, so I'm just kind of adjust it a little bit. Okay, then I'm going to tie another knot, and this one you can tie tighter. Again, just feed it down in there. And if you have a hard time grabbing a hold of your wire, you can use your pliers to tighten it. And then again, you just close this up very gently. Sometimes it will spin around on you. Just be patient. Make sure this goes down to the side because you're going to clip that off. Okay. Whoop. Get those out of the way. So again, you're going to clip this off. And I don't feel anything sticking out. If you do, you can just take your nail and kind of push it back in there. But so far, this is what we have. Let me do a little bit tidying up here, and then I'll come back and show you what we're going to do next to finish this off. All right, so now I'm going to add some chain to this. By the way, something I forgot to mention, when you are tightening in your wire into those, you also want to make sure that Sometimes if you get it too tight, this will bunch up and then this will pop up and it'll look funny. So that did not happen here, fortunately. I was keeping an eye on that, but I just forgot to mention that. All right, so the next thing we need to do is we're gonna have to do some measuring. So I got my little ruler out, and I think I want this to be a 16.5, 17 inch, somewhere around those, that length, maybe a 17 inch. But I took a jump ring and I put it on the chain and put it in here. And now I'm going to measure. But one thing I need to make sure is I've got to take into consideration another jump ring here and the lobster claw and a jump ring on each side. Lobster claw on one side with a jump ring and the other side another jump ring. So you might want to measure to see how long all this stuff is together. So we're talking probably about, it's almost an inch, not quite. I'm going to say 3/4 of an inch because these are going to be a little more, like this is going to be inside there. So I'm going to keep in mind 3/4 of an inch while I measure this. So I'll do this. And I'm going to do 17 inch. So that's 6 inches. That's 12 inches. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Boom, right there. And you also need to take into consideration that you're going to be cutting and you may lose a link. I use memory wire cutters to cut this because this is stainless steel. There we go. And the link that I'm talking about cutting, I'll show you here what I mean in a minute. Okay, so now I'm going to attach this like this. Now, if you used the bead caps or bead tips or these things that had the hook on them, what you would do is you would just lay this in there and then you would have to, I usually use round nose pliers and loop that little hook around. I actually have videos on that. Most of the necklaces I make use those other bead caps. So, all right, so we're going to close this up. Make sure we don't have any gaps or it could slide out. Okay, get rid of that. So now we've got to determine the middle. So I basically just match these up. And then there is a link right there. I'm going to cut that one link. I've got a new contraption I'm using today. This is my first video with it. My sister gave it to me for my birthday, an early birthday. So far, I'm liking it. All right, so I cut that, and now we need to add all these findings on there, and we're done. I really like this a lot. So open this up. In fact, I'm going to wear it today. I'm going to be going somewhere a little later on, and I'm going to wear it. I'm going to a baby shower tomorrow and probably wear it there too. Got to pick up a baby shower gift today. Whoops. This is for somebody's second child. They already have a boy, and this one's a boy. And they're pretty close in age, so I don't know. I know with my fourth child, they had given me a diaper shower, and I was very grateful for that. So I may just pick up a bunch of diapers. And maybe, I don't know, maybe a onesie or something if I find something cute. But the main thing I think will be diapers. What do you think? What would you like if it was your baby shower? All right, let's open this guy up. And then close it up, and we're done. I've had this thing for several months. In fact, I spent quite a bit of time with my mom after our cruise, and I wasn't home, so I couldn't get to my beads, and I knew I had some of these beads that would look really nice. There it is. Oh, I love it. Let's see, how do we do this? I think that came out really nice. What do you think? So you know what? I just think I realized I can kick myself in the you-know-what. I videotaped this vertically. I needed to do it this way. I didn't realize that thing turned. So if I'm right, I really apologize for filming this in vertical mode, but I'm going to go ahead and post it. Just forgive me. It's a learning experience here. But anyway, I'm going to put this on. I'm going to go outside and take a video of me wearing it. So stay tuned for that. So here it is, all finished. I love the length of this. It's right about 17 inches, so it's perfect to wear with t-shirts, or if I had a shirt that had like a little scoop, it's going to be perfect to wear with it. I think this is going to be very universal as to what I can wear it with. I could dress it up, I can dress it down. Loving it. And by the way, I was looking up Caymanite properties, and it's supposed to be like a calming stone. And I think it said it was really good to have around children. And we got lots of those at the house here. So I think what I'm going to do is take that piece of raw Caymanite that Rosemary gave me, and I'm going to put it up on my fireplace mantle. Hopefully it'll give us some positive energy in the home. Anyway, I want to thank y'all for joining me. You have a great day. This is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo signing out for now. Bye-bye.